Most people open a gym to make money, but every now and then someone opens a gym to save lives. Today I'm sitting with a man who built a place that isn't just about boxing, it's about rebuilding people from the inside out. This is the story behind the Good Fight Gym, my man Christopher Hanlon, and how martial arts can turn mental battles into personal breakthroughs. If you're a coach, an entrepreneur, or someone climbing their own mountain, this conversation will show you exactly how to build something that matters and hopefully give you a really good insight into like if you just have a fucking crack and you do it from the heart, you can make something that's really, really cool. Brother Chris, man, welcome to the Limitless Life podcast, brother. I really, really am grateful for you to jump on. I think you're doing amazing things, man. Can you give us a 30-second intro, who you are, and then I'm going to pull out a couple of questions as well.
Yeah, no worries. My name's Christopher Hanlon, living currently Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. I'm number one, a fight coach, PT. I have my fiance Sheridan
Mhm,
and our boy Justice.
mhm.
So basically, yeah, running a fight gym called the Good Fight Gym out of Brisbane. It's just a
Yep.
little backyard gym, but I truly believe it's one of the most powerful gyms in the country right now.
Also, bro, you've represented Australia as well.
Yeah, yeah. So traveled the world fighting for Australia in MMA, which was a crazy,
Yep.
pretty cool accolade. Being a sportsman my whole life, always striving for something that high to be able to earn that earn that opportunity to go and do that, and to do that
Yep.
with my coach as well. Travel the world with my coach. It was pretty special.
Amazing, bro. Yeah, and so essentially gone through I guess the cycle of being an athlete, being a coach, and then opening a gym. Um, Tell us a little bit about that journey quickly, bro.
Yeah. So opening a gym and learning the business side is probably for me harder than ever learning to fight and jump in. It's
Yeah,
been it's been probably as big of like powerful learning experience
yeah.
as learning to fight is doing the is like building the gym.
Is there any
Um,
correlations, bro, like between stepping in the cage and business?
yeah, it's nerve wracking.
Yep.
Um, Something that you've always instilled into me, Dylan, is do the reps though, right?
Mhm.
I always knew that the gym everyone walking into a PT job or opening a gym expect to
Yep.
open the doors and expect money to just come. People just to start knocking on the door and like handing you money, right? It
Yep.
doesn't. It obviously doesn't work that way. So it is
Yep.
about yeah, getting in there, doing the reps, building a bit of a reputation because to be in the fight game too, you do have to build
Yep.
a reputation to be seen.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, a lot of hard work, dedication. It doesn't
Yep.
come. It just doesn't fall on your doorstep. Takes time, and running a gym and running a business is like you need to build that craft. It's like learning to fight. You got to build that craft.
Absolutely, bro. And
Yeah.
like it's cool now because obviously, you haven't even been open that long, but you've obviously been a coach for a long time. And now to have this gym to the point where it's, giving good income, you're getting new members every single month and stuff like that. And the cool thing is you've gone about it in a different way to most is like you said something to me that I thought was incredible, bro. It was like, and I think I'm getting this wrong, but you're basically like, look, if it's not built on my values, I'm not going to build it at all. And I thought that was really powerful.
Yeah. So um, the this gym was built out of tragedy first.
Yeah.
So that the values and virtues behind this gym are super important to me. And if it wasn't like this gym is built in the memory of my mate. And
Yeah.
if it didn't live up to that standard that I always looked at and envisioned, then it wasn't worth it because
Yeah.
we don't. This gym is for identity rebuild,
Mhm.
physically and mentally, and not just that. It's a gym for community with very community strong.
Yeah.
Um, because anyone that hasn't done martial arts before, the community people think martial arts or MMA or kickboxing and boxing is a solo sport.
Yep.
It's actually the opposite. The only solo part is that the last little bit in the cage. Everything
Yeah.
else is built around the community, the people that you're in with,
Yeah.
just the people that that push you and drive you. And it's not even like that. It's not even like come on, Barry, more. It's just like being that support system and like, oh
Yep.
well, may as well not use real, like, may as well just use real names. So it's like, oh, Georgia rocked up today, and I like being there when Georgia's there, and she's a good chick. So I'm gonna go in just to see George, like maybe even just to see Georgia that day, or to see that, or to see So it's
Yep.
just that building that connection community.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and making sure that everyone understands that this only is a gym that we're going to learn to fight in. It's a gym that people are going to have your back.
That's amazing, bro. And I think like a lot of that, and that's why I love like the name, the Good Fight Gym, is like you're putting up the good fight for, many, many reasons. It's not just open a boxing gym. It wasn't just help people do boxing. I guess my question off the back of that, man, is like, what was the moment you realized boxing or the gym wasn't just a sport or a gym, but it was therapy. It was a place to come and, heal or allow yourself to grow.
I probably found the community aspect. So my coach Felice,
Mhm.
the Bob Fatherland, he he became at that time of my life my biggest role model. Like I showed up to training every day for at the time what I thought was for him, but
Yep.
not really knowing it was for me. Um, but just having him and having that strong role model that believed in me in a time that it's not like my life was in the dumps, but it just wasn't moving in the direction that it could have been.
Yep.
Um, so I always knew that community and having that strong role model was always good.
Yep.
In the way of the therapy sort of side of it, I never realized it was like a therapy until I didn't have it anymore. So I went hard. I went hard and I never skipped training sessions, and I was just always in there and not resting or recovering, or not
Yep.
probably didn't have my nutrition dialed in and whatnot, because I was just in there having a crack, right?
Mm.
And then because of those things, injuries started. It's like life was like, all right, mate, you're not going to rest here. Have a 10-month rest. Bang, injury. And then it was like in those moments where um, I didn't have it. It was like that's where it like really I really realized like, oh, there's more to this. Like this looked after my mental health, not only my physical health, it looked
Yep.
after my mental health as well.
Yep.
And the gym, my fight team, the FOB squad. I'd rock up to training, and when I was injured, and I'll just sit there. I'll just sit there and watch and be that support system and be there for the boys. And like it was just the community aspect of it, and the belonging of
Yep.
being in an environment like that. That's what I like, putting those little bits and pieces together. That's where I was really like, there's more to combat sport than
Yep.
the little part that people see and think it is, because people think combat sports is violent, right? It's only violent, and this is just they can't. This stat is not like written in concrete.
Yep.
They'll never actually know this number, but it's 0.06 to 0.06 to 0.25% of the population will ever actually jump into a ring and turn that craft into that violent side. Now,
Mm.
when we turn that into that violent side, what you need to remember about it is it's violence out of respect, not violence out of rage either.
Yeah.
So it's people get caught up in like there's people just like like Neanderthals like bashing each other up, right? But it's a lot more. There's a lot more than that. It's like the skill sets and discipline and the body awareness and the just like the oh man, there's too many benefits to list on what happens inside a combat sports gym, and it happens in all sports. But I just think there's something special about um combat sports gym, and I think it comes down to like you got to remember back in the gladiator days that was like one man. It wasn't always one man, but it's like it was a battle, right? And people loved
Yep.
to like watch that. So it's like it's in our genes. I mean, back when we're hunter and gathering, right? To survive, you had to fight. So it's all
I,
in
I think
there.
the I think the biggest thing said too, bro, in terms of, combat sports and the violence of it is like we can hide from it all we want. We're on a planet that's inherently trying to kill us.
Mm,
So
yeah.
that darkness, that violence, that animal primal side of us is
Mm,
it's useful at times because
mm,
we've had to survive. And I think why like martial arts in particular is something that is so powerful is it teaches you to harness that.
mm.
And I think a lot of people get scared off by it because, one, they've probably never had to deal with confrontation or any dark stuff themselves, and they think, oh, these guys are just like you said, Neanderthals. When realistically, it's like anyone who goes to whether it's boxing, jiu-jitsu, or if you're a wanker, if you have an ego, the people that don't have that are going to show you pretty quick that, hey, maybe you should tone it down a little bit here. And
Yeah.
then also in great environments, it's like you learn how to harness that and you really learn how to control the monster, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it's always there. And I think it's one of those beautiful things, especially for men. And I know a lot of women as well that are going through tough times is like when you're able to, go there and release that energy or put yourself under, pressure and contact. Sometimes it's all you need to be in the most peaceful place in the world, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Not only are you getting that endorphin hit out of movement,
Yeah.
it's like yeah, it's. I mean, I mean, where else can you go into like a gym and punch someone in the face and it'd be okay, and then like get punched back in the face and it'd be okay, and again, that's like looking down like talking like more of the violent side of there, but it's therapeutic. It's therapeutic letting that rage
I,
out.
I
Like
think also too to like like people realize like fuck I'm actually tougher than I realize.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know
I actually I
yeah.
actually got a funny story about the first time I ever walked into the gym, and I think this is part of the reason why I got hooked because I'm a competitor. I've always been
Yeah.
a competitor.
Yeah.
And I walked into the gym, and it's a longer story on why I walked into the gym. Was just from like stop playing soccer my whole life and not being able to get a team together and getting
Yeah.
smashed soccer and losing its fun. But anyway, I was like, you know what, I'm going to walk into this fight gym because I always had an interest in it. I used to watch the Muay Thai, Australian Muay Thai scene as I was growing
Yeah.
up, and walked in. I was like, yeah, this will be fun if I stop doing it. It's on me because it's only on me. And I walked in. It's like, yeah, I've never lost a fight at school, which
Yeah.
just big testosterone running around at school and whatever, trying to prove yourself.
Mhm.
Walked into the gym and got my ass handed to me by a 12-year-old, and I was like, fuck, something about this. And then when I went into a fight gym for the first time too, I never had any intentions of doing MMA.
Yeah.
Like when I walked into a fight gym, I was like, "Oh, I'm not doing that bloody bullshit, rolling around hugging each other all the time. I'm here to like punch things." And it's the same thing when I first did the BJJ and I got put into a chokehold pretty quickly. I was like, oh, okay. Like there's something about here. And I better, I'm pretty bloody vulnerable if I don't
Yeah.
upskill this. And anyway, met my coach, Felice, and then, yeah, the rest is history, really.
Nah, for sure, man. It's
Mm,
it's one of those things, I guess if anyone is listening to this and you've done combat sports or anything like that, you 100% know of just that pure humbling, it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
you're literally showing up to get your ass kicked some days, but like
yeah,
in a really positive way as well. And I
yeah,
think in a world that has gone like it's 100% gotten soft, is like, but it's only because most people haven't been given the opportunity to see what they're really made of. And I think
yeah,
combat sports allows you to have that. And I think it's amazing, bro. Like, before you opened the gym, I know there was a big reason behind this. Like, who were you before you opened the doors? I know if you wanted to share your story about your friend, and then
yeah.
what really was the catalyst for, making this space?
Yeah, so before I opened the gym, I was a fighter, and that was
Yep.
my whole identity. My identity was a
Yep.
fighter,
Yep.
and a PT.
Yep.
Um, it's the only sort of thing, and I think it's one of the things that you need to be careful with when you get into like high elite level things.
Yep.
Any sport, or probably even in business, right, is not to make that your whole identity. So, um, like we were sort of mentioned at the start of this conversation, the gym was built out of tragedy. So in January 2024,
Yep.
got a phone call at work, sat like pretty much saying, "Oh, Barry, you should come home. Everyone's going to be there." I sort of started asking a little few questions. Anyway, found out that our good friend Ethan Michael Gambrill had committed suicide. Um,
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, it was pretty tough, and it's still pretty tough to talk about now.
Yep.
Um, I yeah, the happy go, just the happy one, right? The one that was always there to support you, always. Yeah, you hear that so many times, like it's the happy ones that they're like just able to mask whatever's going on. And
Yep.
after his death, I was in this moment of asking my question. I knew what combat sport done for my mental health at this stage, because I'd
Yep.
already sort of like been injured and missed out,
Yep.
and I was sitting there and I had all these what ifs. What if he'd done combat sports? What if I had the gym open? Because we had an empty shed at the
Yep.
back of my out of my house, and it's like,
Yep.
what if I had that gym built? What if he was able to experience martial arts? What if he had a community? And I played that over for a couple of weeks, and then it turned from what if it's like, well, what if he's not going to do me any good, and what if it's not going to do his memory any good? So that was
Yep.
the catalyst of, you know what, fuck this, build it, just
Yep.
build the gym. I always wanted to own my own gym. I just didn't.
Yep.
I guess there wasn't a little bit of courage wasn't there to just to go out and bite the bullet.
Yep.
So anyway, I built the gym number one for myself, because I was like, this is going to be an outlet for me, so I can get training again, back and try and get back into it after a bad injury.
Yep.
And then from there, once the gym was built, I was just sitting there one day and I was like, you know what? I want to do more here. I want to build something for the men in the community.
Yep. Yep.
So I just in the middle of I jumped on Facebook communities and I put a post up. Free men's shed, come hit some pads, have a chat.
Yep.
Got hundreds and hundreds of likes and comments on that first post, and I was like, okay, we are actually this obviously is needed. This is something that um, obviously the men need in the community, and it wasn't just the men that reached out; it was the wives and the girlfriends and the mums and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
And anyway, come to the first day, the first one that was ever come, and nobody showed up after all those hundreds of likes. And so what I did is I have to find the clip somewhere. It's in my phone bank somewhere. But I sat down
Yep.
in front of the camera, did a little bit of a workout, sat down in front of the computer, and said why I wanted to do this. Anyway, after that, I run them every fortnight. The free men sheds. Well, it's actually called the Combat Mind. Is the free men shed's called the Combat Mind. We just call it the men shed because it's in the shed up the backyard, right?
Yeah.
And for that, over that next 2 week period, I sat there and I was like, well, is it really worth it? Is it what people really need? No one showed up. So I said, no, you know what? You made this commitment, go again. And it got a heap less likes, but I think um, we had one man from the community come through on the first one, plus our mates, and we sort of done like a sort of like grand opening first sort of men's shed thing together.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, we got one through. And it's like, okay, let's run it next fortnight. The next like two or three come, and then it built and built and built and built. to what we had now. When I first started this shed as well, I literally stood in the middle of the shed for 2 hours and just rotated people through holding the pads. As it grew, I knew it wasn't quite exactly what I wanted because they were socializing, but it wasn't really exactly what I envisioned.
Yep.
So I've test and tried and test and tried and test and tried. And the thing that we got together now is we treat it like a fight, and it's a 4 round system.
Mhm.
So the first round is we tell a story, and that's about a prominent combat sports figure. I guess an easy one to mention right now is Mike Tyson. And if we talk about how Mike Tyson lost young boy, full of rage, found a coach, rose to the top, hit the top, got the money, got the fame, then come the drugs, then come the alcohol, then come the jail time, slumped back down,
Mhm.
and then rebuilt himself and went back up. When you tell stories like that about someone like Mike Tyson, who's perceived as a strong figure, like, heavyweight world champion of the world, how much of a strong figure can you get?
Yep.
But when people hear those stories, they start to identify and they see themselves in those same situations. And it's like, okay, if Mike Tyson did stuff like that, it's like I'm allowed to be going through this as well. And what that
Yep.
does is it breaks down the guard first, and
I,
then
bro, just on that, and this is like something I truly believe in. The language sort of escapes me. I think it's just purely like the upbringing and sort of living in the sharing sheds is like we're all fucked up, and
yeah,
just no one wants to like no one has the people are afraid to be able to share and they think that like I must be the only one fucked up. And
yeah,
I really think what you just said there is like we see these people and I was lucky enough to obviously see people from so many walks of life. And I just realized like even all of the top people in the world, they've all gone through shit. They've all
mm,
sort of do it. It's just quite often is them accepting it makes a huge difference. And I think what you just said there, man, like how powerful is allowing those men to see that.
yeah, yeah. Just be relatable, like just relate to something and feel
Yeah.
like, yeah, yeah, for sure, 100%. I think story to end again. If we're going to go back into our primal days, story was the way we communicated.
Yeah.
Story is
100%.
a very powerful thing, and I think in what I found without that story part first,
Yeah.
the shed the combat mind doesn't work the same way. Because what it does is to tell the story, like I said, we identify and it brings down the guard.
Yeah.
But then what we do anyway after that is we move into round two, and what we do there is I ask
Yeah.
really thought provoking questions, and it's all themed. It's all
Mhm.
themed each session. We
Mhm.
ask them really thought provoking questions,
Mhm.
and the men don't need to um, answer here. They just start thinking about it. If they want to answer, they can answer, but it's
Yeah.
just another way of starting to bring down the guard. Then we
Mhm.
move into our movement section, which
Mhm.
obviously gets the endorphins flowing.
Yeah.
Again, brings down the guard. Then we
Yeah.
come back into a circle at the end, and we by the time we've gone through the first 3 rounds, the guard's right down. And then you ask them what we do there. Sorry, is we then relate what we did in that session to how it can be applied into
Yeah.
everyday life. So
Yeah.
a really perfect example of this is we do a session around controlled aggression and anger.
Mhm.
And what we learn to do is we learn to like nasal breathe. When we nasal breathe, it resets the central nervous system.
Mhm.
So when you're fighting in the cage, sometimes it's chaos. What we need to be
Yeah.
able to do is turn that chaos into calm, because when we can turn chaos into calm, then we can think straight and we can strategize and we can pick bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Now, if we think about getting smashed up, what we need to sort of do is you need to break out of the pocket, nasal breathe, reset that central nervous system, get out of fight or flight, get that
Mhm.
calm mind, and then go back to work.
Mhm.
Now, if you think about this as a at home example, you get home after a hard day's work, and your wife might say, "Oh, I thought you were going to put the bins out before you went to work."
Yeah.
Get home, start blowing up. Oh, I just bloody got home from work, and I just forgot, rah rah. And then 10 minutes later, once you calm down, you start feeling like a piece of shit because you've just gone off at the person that you love, and again, that there starts to hammer in at your own self-worth and your mental health too, because you're thinking that you're a piece of shit. Where
Yep.
instead, if you went into the home and you had this strategy that we use in the cage, oh, I thought you're going to put the bins out. Stop for a second, nasal breathe,
Hmm.
get out of fight or flight, control that chaos. Oh,
Mm.
sorry, I just got home, I had a big hard day. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm sorry, I'll put the bins out after.
Hmm.
Now you haven't gone into this big fight and not feeling like a piece of shit. And all it took was 5 seconds to pump 3 nasal breaths out.
That quick reset, eh?
It's crazy. So anyway,
Yep.
that's the way that the combat mind works. And ever since we've
Yep.
implemented that, we've seen, yeah, it's what I truly envisioned it to be.
What
Because after the round four, once we relate that and we then
Yep.
ask questions again, the men's guards are down, and it
Yeah.
just takes one person to open their mouth, and all of a sudden they all start sharing. And that's what that was the whole what I envisioned in the first place. About it took years, nearly 2 years of test and trial to get that to where
Bro,
it is.
it's a huge, huge testament to you, man. And would you have any, like, I guess, a really powerful story that has come out of that?
Oh yeah, there's heaps. So
Yep.
my I, what happens in the men's shed stays private.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
we don't go. I don't have cameras filming what's going in there for content.
Yep.
I don't have things. It's
Yep.
just
Yep.
a safe space that men can think. So I don't have what you'd call like
Social proof and all of that.
social proof, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's all happening in there. But the social proof to me is we had I've had people say, mate, this has fucking saved my life.
Yeah.
I've had people come in because people have different problems, right, or things going in their life. I had someone come in, mate, I didn't drink all week because I was just keen to like show up in this next session.
Yep.
You know, it's those things that they say to me
Yep.
after that like makes me know that this is powerful and
Oh,
this is
bro,
working.
that's huge. Like,
Yeah.
because you think of like all the society and all of that now, and we do have all the devices and stuff that just allows us to numb the pain and. You know,
Mm,
people going through some fucking hard shit, man. You know, and it's like we'd all like to say like harden up and stuff like that, but I honestly don't think that that's the answer, eh?
no,
What
not
do you think
anymore.
is the answer, bro?
What I find in regards to like, especially like men's mental health and the way men treat their mental health these days
Yep.
is, now don't get me wrong when I say this, because psychologists and all them, and they have their role, and
Yep.
they are much needed. We need those people. So
Sure.
I'm not
Yep. Yep.
wiping it off, but the way the health system is set up at the moment to deal with it, especially for men,
Mhm.
it's not right. It doesn't work because words come last for men. So I was actually involved in a presenter at a mental health forum a couple of weeks ago, and there's
Yep.
so many amazing people out there that you don't even know are out there that are doing different sort of initiatives like I am.
Yep.
Now, what I think if we just bring it back to the good fight gym and the combat mind
Mhm.
is men need to learn to fight for themselves before they are open, before they feel comfortable enough to then go speak words. So
Yep.
what I think needs to happen is, I think somebody in Parliament
Mhm.
just needs to grow a backbone, because the government is all it needs to hit the structures and stuff like that, right? And it's got a specific plan, and if it goes off track, someone's putting their reputation on risk if they don't
Yep.
follow those protocols.
Yep.
So what I feel like someone needs to do in government is say, okay, yes, this isn't the correct the whole hard answer. I think we need to look at different avenues. Now, if I come back to what I was saying before, there's all these little initiatives that people are doing.
Yep.
Now, what for men especially, me doing the combat mind might not work for the next door neighbor.
Mhm.
He might rather go into a woodwork shop
Yep.
and do some woodwork things, or that we always hear a lot of like there's a lot of really great walking groups,
Yep.
walking chats.
Mhm.
the other next door neighbor might be more into that. But I think what needs to happen is I think the government needs to understand that these little initiatives that are happening, um, just sorry, I'm jumping over a little bit in
Not a
different places
prevention,
here,
bro.
but
These are the
like
preventions.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's step number one. But
100%.
it's crazy because you actually don't know how many of these little initiatives are around.
Yeah,
There's heaps of people trying to do this. And I
yeah.
think the government need to back us little guys and say, okay, let's try this as avenue number one.
Mhm.
I mean, I understand where they're coming from because they don't want to be selective and they don't want to be like, oh, they're picking
Here's
this
something
over a thing.
here's something, bro, and like so I 100% agree. Is like the government needs to do a far better job. I think, and it's just listening to you speak right now, bro. I'm like, fuck, I wish I had more people listening to this podcast because what you're saying is
Mm,
fucking life changing, fucking
mm,
life changing. And I'm like, in here, I'm like, I'm getting fired up. I'm like, I need to fucking get
mm,
this podcast going fucking mad so
mm,
we can get stories like yours on here.
yeah.
Because, in my opinion, I think like these days is like, without a fucking better way to say it, is like fuck the government.
Mm,
It's like realistically is like we should 100% be pushing for this 100%. They're going to
mm,
move so slow. Whereas stuff like this, we could get this out to 1,000 people, and then it's
mm,
like someone's like, "Fuck, man, I fucking love what you're doing. Can you come and speak here?" Like you've done on the stages and stuff like
mm,
that. And I
mm,
think these little initiatives, these little community things, I think we can just move so much faster.
yeah.
And like, for example, if you're someone who's listening to this and like thinks like, fuck, you can share Chris's story even more, please reach out to him. Because I truly think is like, we have far more power than we realize. And, with the government, we 100% should be on their case. But it's like, why not just push back and make it fucking so loud that they have to listen? And it's actually one of my big reasons. One of my very good friends, he's like, why are you doing the social media stuff, bro? He's like, well, I have a plan to fucking change the world, and it's
Mm,
like,
mm,
I know that I have this love and this passion for the art of social media and gathering attention and stuff like that. I feel like it's my duty because I feel like if I can harness that talent, whatever it is, and then get enough reach, I know deep down, like my heart is really wanting to fucking make a big difference. I'm like, why not push it
yeah.
as hard as I can? Um, it's really interesting because someone told me I was like, because I sort of like wanted to do like a podcast, I guess, around like just sharing against tall poppy syndrome and stuff like that. And he's like, man, it's fucking hard to do.
Mm,
But I'm like, actually, this is fucking sick. I'll do it anyway. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
because it's like, and then it's just a case of like, what's the skill set to get this in front of more people? Because that's
Mm,
really all it comes down to. It's like, it's the same in our mentoring, man. Like, we just talk about it all the time. It's like, what is the one skill? And the cool thing about the way you go about it, bro, is you're like, all right, well, I've stepped in the cage. What were the
mm,
steps that got me to the cage door? Like, I'm here to fight. Well, I have to prepare first. And you just
yeah.
look at it from a skill set perspective, bro. And I really think like if I think it might be quite a good sort of segue into like because what you've done is you haven't waited for the government. You've gone out there and you've connected with people and you've done things and I think there's so many people out here who have something worthwhile sharing, worthwhile doing, but they just don't get off the couch. They just
Yeah.
don't get out there. And I think in particular, bro, what you've done going out into the community, maybe if you want to, what were those first steps to you literally taking this on your own back and saying, look,
Mm.
this is worth putting up the good fight and you getting after it?
I again, like we've already mentioned, this is built in the memory of my friend. So this is personal. It's personal to me. It's
Yep.
not nothing else but personal.
Yep.
Um, if I can number one, if I can save one life, then this shed is a success. And it's
Yep.
already people already said it is. So we're already ticking the boxes, right?
Yep.
So because it's personal, and I truly know I got firsthand experience of what this has done for my mental health.
Mhm.
Like the sport changed my life. When I sit back and look at it, like the sport changed my life. So I knew what I had was powerful. I knew it was powerful when I used to hold just the pads in the shed. I knew it was powerful. Wasn't quite where I wanted it to be, but now we got to where it was. It was like, okay, well, I know this is powerful and good. How can I let people know? Because
Yep.
all I had was Facebook community pages,
Yep.
and it actually all started off the back of I seen a lady post. She was a writer for the Courier Mail, which is, for people that know, it's Queensland's or Brisbane's major. I think it's Queensland's major newspaper,
Hmm.
and it was a post saying something like, just on here looking for anybody that had seen something or has something about something totally off, nothing to do with me. I just reached out to her. I was like, hey, I know nothing about this, but I run this pretty wicked program in the back of my shed if you want to
Yeah.
come and have a chat and talk about it. So anyway, we did that, and that got published into the Courier Mail, which I've
Yeah.
only just posted onto my socials now because it was personal to me, and it took a lot of it was just tough to post it, even though I knew it was need to be out there. It was easy for me just to let them post it, right, than me do it myself. But anyway, after that, I just took opportunities when they were there. So they were down the park, 100 meters down the road. They were doing this disco thing in the park for the kids. We went
Yep.
down just to have a look, and the Morningside councillor was there, and the state MP was there too, and they're walking around. I think they're actually mother and daughter walking around together. And I was like, "Hey, I've got this shed. You should
Hmm.
come check it out sometime." And
Hmm.
from there, yeah, we started talking to Di Farmer, who's the state MP, and he took a little bit of interest in it, and then
Yep.
building my community. And then my community noticed like a little awards that were going around, like the Queensland Day Awards. So they chucked me out there, and we got nominated for Queensland Day Award. And then
Yep.
Westfield do a thing, and one of the boys um, entered me into that, and we wrote up things. And I went to Grilled, and Grilled have got those tokens, and I was like, well, this is worthy. I'm gonna get my thing into Grilled. And it was just
Hmm.
taking like little opportunities and putting myself out there, and like backing the program that I know that I have.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, from there we've also won the Kalimba Electric Small Business Award.
Yep.
Again, it's just
And you thought you had no chance with that, eh, man?
no, because I by far had the least amount of followers, but it just proves how strong my community actually is. And
Yep.
and even though it might not just be my direct community, people are obviously sharing as well, and then people are believing and thinking, oh, this is actually a good thing too.
Absolutely.
So I mean, where the shed is at the combat mine is at the moment, it's only scratched the surface. Like I
Yep.
truly believe that this program, and I have curriculum aligned programs ready to go into schools.
Yep.
Because I'm a big believer of like the men's shed's great. What we got going here, it's an
Yep.
amazing thing, but we're fixing or trying to teach strategies to people that it could have been avoided if they already had the strategy. So what if we had this in schools, and
Yep.
we taught the youth the strategies, so when they come out into their life, because you got to remember, you got to think back, like when like school life and then going out there and trying to make it in the real world, it's a big transition, and
Oh,
and 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 life hits you in the fucking face, like.
yeah,
But imagine if we had these strategies and they
bro.
knew how to,
I
like
know, and I know in that too, and just like with you knowing that, I know we had a really great conversation, and you're like starting to understand what this is going to cost, in terms
mm,
of sort of, the financial investments and stuff like that. And I know your passion and your why and your conviction for this is so deep. You've thought about this for 2 years, like you said, like
mm,
piece by piece by piece. But you had that huge money block of asking for money or going and finding money. Like,
mm,
how did you work on and overcome that, bro? Because I know now you've sort of had that little mindset switch of like what
mm.
money can do for this project.
Yeah, well, money opens doors. Like
Yeah,
it really does. And when I say money for this program, it's not money in my pocket. And
100%.
I
Yeah,
think that's what I had to get over first. I
yeah,
mean, like, yeah, there's major plans for this program. Like, and again, it's still in its infancy, right?
yeah.
But the best thing that ever happened to me is a friend, one of my friends, Barb, who's really into this. She's worked with men's mental health for a long time as well. She
Yep.
opened the doors up to that men's mental health forum that I presented at,
Mhm.
and just not knowing what you don't know.
Mhm.
It's like not knowing the grants or how to write for grants or even to apply for grants. Like
Mhm.
the grants are the um I like the next foundation step to be able to like be put out there even more. And
Yep.
I think it was just a matter of like the dementia that I run out of my backyard. I'm always going to keep that free because that's the
Yep.
heart and soul of the thing.
Absolutely.
But then to be
Yep.
able to get this into schools and getting some grants, and then be able to make sure that I'm looked after
Mhm.
and my family's looked after while because that's number one. This is like move away from the good fight. I
The
mean
boat
the
doesn't sail without you, eh?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, taking
Yep.
away from the combat mind. At the end of the day, I
Yep.
run a business here, and I
Yep.
run the business to support myself and my family, and to have keep a roof over my head. So
Yep.
then be able to like figure out how to get grants and stuff, and then put programs into places that then I can sort of take up income back out of
Yep.
and survive while
Well,
serving.
building the legacy, bro.
Yeah, service.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
At the moment, I'm
Because
servicing.
I think
Sorry,
a lot of people in that regards, like we feel like the sacrifice has to be on us and we suffer and so that we can do the good thing in the community. But
mm,
it's realistically is like if you're like happy, your family's happy, you're able to like, take your kids out and do cool stuff and shit like that. You have that energy and that vibrancy and you can feed yourself good food, all of that. You at your absolute best is just like you're gonna fucking
mm,
change the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the moment, all we're doing, all the reach is we're servicing the community. Like
Yeah.
this program can service the world.
100%.
Like
Yeah.
on it, like honestly, like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of work, bro, and it's very, very exciting.
Mm.
With all of this, man, in terms of that, like what's one thing anyone starting a gym and movement needs to be obsessed with that has nothing to do with money?
Well, we I think at the root of every time someone gets a PT, their PT certificate.
Mhm.
Number one, they want to help people.
Yeah,
They want to help
absolutely.
change people, and I think too many people lose they forget that that's what they actually wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. Well, it's that point, man,
at the
where they
core of
get
everything.
everyone ends up broke and they're like, man, I'd love to help people, but I can barely help myself.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah. I just think everyone you just need to hold on to that want to help change people because I
Yeah.
think for a lot of PTs, especially when they start falling into the working the PT hours, up in the
Yeah.
morning, go home,
Yeah.
back in at night time, making good coin,
Mhm.
then it just becomes about making the good coin, and
Yeah. Yeah.
they forget about just wanting to help people. And you see it at the gym, commercial gyms. I'm not a fan of all commercial gyms anymore. It's just
Yeah.
like they're in there for their money, and then they're flash cars and they're flash trainers, and then
Yeah.
they're sitting there like on their phone, and like they forget that they're actually in there to help and serve people. I think
Yeah.
that's what you need to remember. It's not just help people. People are paying you to like serve them.
100%.
Like, and we must hold on to we're serving our people.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
This is the choice that we have made the decision in our lives to give our knowledge to the next people to
Yeah.
help them live a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Be that them getting strong or them losing weight or them just doing it for their mental health. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is we need to remember that
Yeah.
Yeah,
It gets you through those hard days when you remember why you're doing it, eh?
yeah. Because there's hard days. It's brutal. I
Yep.
mean, you're a
Yeah.
PT. You know what it's like going into working into a gym for the first time. It's
Yep.
cutthroat. It's
Yep.
cutthroat, and not many people. We all go in with this wanting to help live and change people, but the commercial gyms, they just charge extortion rates to have you
Yep.
in there, and then people can't survive paying the rent while they try and build things, and they crash.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's other factors on why people don't
Yep.
make it, but
But that obsession with just like serving people is the number one thing, eh?
yeah, yep.
What
Be
about
that teaching them, like it might be for me. It started off just I wanted to teach people to fight, and then it turned into lot bigger.
good point there, because like you talk a lot about fighting, but really giving your place, you're really giving people a place to deal with what's inside. How
Yeah,
does someone create an environment like that?
again, coming back to exactly what we just said, we need to be able to like serve people.
Yep.
You need to have some emotional intelligence about you too.
Yep.
You need to create. It's about creating a safe environment.
Yep.
So again, with a fight gym environment, it can be quite intimidating for people. You know, you hear of the egos in the gym.
Yep.
It's important, especially in a fight space, is to build a ego-free environment. I think it's about setting standards and making sure everyone meets those standards,
Yep.
and everyone needs to be on the same page. So what I actually do when I have new people come in is I do offer a free session, and the reason being is the real reason behind that is number one, I need to make sure that we can build rapport, because if we can't build rapport, then it's like going to school and going to the class with a teacher that you didn't like, right? You learn nothing, and then it's a shit time for you, it's a shit time for your teacher. Same thing in the gym and in our gym culture. If you come in and we can't build rapport, number one, it's not going to work. Number two, I'm flushing out the egos at that same stage, because a lot of people that are suffering are vulnerable, and then unfortunately the predators prey on the vulnerable. And I think that happens not just in gyms, it happens in workplaces, it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's about allowing those people that are feeling vulnerable to feel safe, and to know that I've got their back,
Yeah.
because I think that's the number one thing, that I've got their back, and I make sure that I know they got their back. Now, what people don't see outside of the social media and the fighters fighting and all that sort of stuff is that I'm basically, obviously I got to stay in scope when I do this, and I've got a duty of care if people
Yep.
say things that are
Yep.
out of my scope. But I'm there. I'm a
Yeah.
coach, but I'm also a friend,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
I do a lot of after hours stuff, just making
Yeah.
sure if someone's struggling, just making sure they're okay and they feel safe and they know that
It's because
this
you're a
gym
fucking,
and me as a
you're just
coach
a
is
leader, bro. You're a true
yeah,
leader, eh? And it's something that like I've been like I've worked with you for a long time now, and it's like you can't fake it after a while, you know? It's
no,
like, you know, a lot of people say certain things, but you can just tell, man. And like, you know, I'll prompt you to like be a bit more commercial focused and stuff like that. But deep down, man, like you just fucking care and you just love these people. And like the cool thing about it is it's actually been really refreshing to see as well, is that you staying to that, you just becoming the best leader you can be has opened up so many doors that
yeah,
like we talked about building $1 million gym, and I'm like, okay, well, here's the business structure and blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden the opportunities open up without even realizing, you know, and
yeah,
it's pretty
yeah,
crazy. And like it wasn't even really anything to do with business skill, it was just you being that person and really doing it from the heart. I think it's fucking incredible, man.
yeah. I think as well, like bringing that up, it's being authentic,
Yep.
and like I said, this mission, and
Everyone says
I don't,
authentic, hey, but it's
yeah,
like they fucking fake it.
yeah, and this is like coming back to where we just were, like
Yeah,
it's personal to me.
100%, bro. Yeah,
So
yeah,
when it's personal, so it is authentic, and then
yeah,
people know authentic
yeah,
when they know it, and they know when you meet. This is what we haven't said in this podcast yet. Is this gym is a mission? It's not a gym; it's a
yeah,
mission, and it's a mission
yeah,
to help save lives.
yeah.
Now we do run the combat mine as men exclusive,
Mhm.
but every man, woman, kid,
Yeah.
they're all getting these benefits coming into this gym, and
Well, the
I
wives,
think
the partners, the kids, they all get the benefit of these men being better men, you know?
yeah, and like
Yeah,
even like the parents like that aren't
yeah,
doing it. It's like them seeing their kid, like seeing their kids grow and develop and get more confident. That's just only having a benefit on their mental health as well. So it's like even if they're not in there doing it, it's like them seeing that sort of stuff.
yeah.
I mean, like you've got a son and a daughter, and we've got justice, and it's like your main mission is to make sure they're looked after and happy, right? So when they're happy, you're happy, and that's what I
It's,
see. That's what I see in this gym as well. Is
yeah.
yeah.
What have you learned about like building a tribe that actually supports each other, bro?
Again, I think it's all from the foundation. Starts at the
Yeah,
foundations of the gym, and I think you've got to get that right. You have to get that part right. If you don't get that part right, then it's just another gym.
it's another gym.
Now, I think I think combat sport it's um it's a bit different to like any other sort of sport you do.
Yeah,
It's just it, and you know because some of these things that I say about my gym, you would feel in your jiu-jitsu gym. Like the
yeah,
community would be pretty strong in there.
yeah,
And I think
100%.
the combat sports, um, yeah, it's tribe. And then when you think of those Maslow's laws, is it Maslow? Yeah, Maslow's laws.
Yeah,
Tribe is in it. So when there's tribe, there's belonging. You feel
yeah,
belonging. When there's belonging, there's trust. When there's trust, the environment just flourishes.
yeah. When you know
Yeah,
you're safe and when you belong,
yeah,
then you can thrive. Yeah, because everyone, like in terms of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, is like that base level. If you don't have that covered, you're literally just surviving. And so,
yeah,
like, when you remove that, that feeling like you can't survive because you don't have community and all of that, then it's like thriving is just not even in the picture.
yeah. No,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. It's just having those people to help build you up too, and to
yeah,
push you through, and just having the chance to meet people outside of your family and out of your job,
yeah,
to be go over to come away and just build new friendships and connections. I
yeah,
mean, as humans, that's what we seek,
yeah.
what we thrive, right? We seek connection, and I don't think there's anything more intimate than punching and kicking somebody and being okay with it.
Getting someone's big sweaty balls in your face doing
Yeah,
jujitsu,
yeah,
bro. That
yeah.
might be a bit more.
Yeah, 100%. But
Yeah,
it's like again, if we come back to that little bit of violent side, like yes, it's violent. Let's talk about like in the cage or in the ring here.
yeah,
Yes, it's violent, but what's the first thing 99.9% of the time happens when after someone you've been in a fight? They hug it out in the ring.
yeah,
It's all built on respect, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it just yeah, literally trying I wouldn't say kill is the word, but you're literally trying to hurt someone or
Yeah.
yeah, and then just to like hug it out and then go
I reckon
backstage
in
and
terms of like childhood psychology, man, if you play fight with your kids, the like rough play, all of that, they believe there's something that makes them know that hey, look, even in a threatening situation or challenging situation, they can feel safe and know that they can handle themselves.
yeah,
And it's something that's so powerful. And you look at it like, say, for jujitsu, is like, when you become a higher belt, one of the biggest things is you're always going to roll with lower belts. And, lower belts will come in, they'll try to rip your head off. But like,
yeah,
But the higher belt could do it straight away, but they know where they can push and guide and move you. And I think that's such a cool thing is like the more deadly you become, the more gentle you actually are. Um,
Yeah,
because you know the power you have, and it's often that feeling where people don't know or they're trying to prove that they have power is when they're actually
yeah,
dangerous, you know? Yeah.
yeah, 100%, 100%, and that's one of the best things that combat sport
Yeah.
gym teaches you. And like to be honest, like when you've gone, you have Monday night open sparring here. After
Mm.
you've like slogged on for 12 hard rounds, you've got no violence left in your body. You can't be bothered. And then someone like tries to like talk shit on the road, on the street or whatever. You're just like, bro, I just cannot
Bro,
be
I
bothered.
remember
I mean, I just been punched in the face by someone that would carve you up. Like I don't just no.
yeah.
Like
I remember there was I was in West End at the time. I literally just found out. I think I found out my dad basically was gonna die. And I had like a day or so before that, I'd signed up for a trial at a kickboxing gym. And I was like, fuck, I shouldn't go to this. And I was like,
mm,
fuck it, I'll just go hit some pads. And anyway, so I just found out basically my dad was, he had a year to live or something like that. He was gonna die anyway. And so I go into this kickboxing gym and I was like, all right, do some pads, fucking blow off a bit of steam, take my mind off it. I didn't realize it was full on like Muay Thai sparring.
mm.
I'd done barely any Muay Thai, mate. Like I'd done enough.
Yeah,
Literally, I'd done 12 rounds with these guys, and like it was the best thing for me, man. Like
mm.
there was no like they could have easily just fucking kicked my ass. So I got a few like good hits and stuff like that. But like that 12, 3 minute rounds, I was absolutely cooked by the end.
Yeah, yeah,
But the crazy thing is, and maybe like to finish off a few questions, I was like, fuck, well, my dad's going for a lot worse. It was like,
yeah,
right now it was like I'm struggling and getting my ass kicked, but my dad's going for a lot worse.
yeah.
A few questions just to pull this together is like,
Mm.
what has been your biggest internal fight as you built the Good Fight gym?
Apart from like the financial restrictions to start off with, because
Yep,
I was doing pretty well
yep,
as as in the community gyms as a PT.
yep,
It was a big risk to leave that all behind and hope that it works.
yep,
Um, in the way of like building the gym when people were here, I've never really had an issue. But the
yep,
hardest thing for me really was learning how to market myself. And
yep,
well, I think when I say that, I ha- I have been marketing myself, but just not in the new traditional way of putting it on the social media. Because
yep,
what we
yep, yep,
talked about earlier before, making all those connections is marketing myself.
100%.
Um, I
Yep,
think by just learning the ins and outs of doing it not in a commercial gym where the leads and stuff are coming out, that was probably the most difficult part.
yep,
Hence why I'm part of. I already know what we talked about community. Dark side marketing is a community. We're a
yep,
community of like-minded people trying to do the same thing that are helping each other build each other up, right?
yep,
So I think the best thing that I did there is join, and I've
yep,
been part of other mentorships that have got me to different points in my journey as well. But I think just by like having other people in your corner, that's what we talk about in the fight gym. Yeah,
yep,
you're fighting one on one in the cage or the ring, but you still got your corner, right?
yeah,
It's like even in the gym here, you got a corner. It's like at least having like the dark side marketing corner
mhm,
um, definitely help ease those issues because you're talking to people that have been there and done it, right?
yeah, yeah,
So it's
yeah,
just about learning it and being able to learn to not make the same mistakes that those people already made because they're able to tell you they don't go down that way, don't go that
yep,
route because this will happen.
yep.
It's
I
like
honestly
it's like
believe
going
like
yeah.
yeah, the
Yes,
last 18 months, the biggest change in my own coaching style was just pointing out the icebergs.
yeah,
I used to be like, hey, how can we get this person to win? And now I'm like, actually, it's just like, it's what you want to avoid.
Yeah,
Because most of the time, that's it. And like one thing you said there that a lot of people probably won't understand is that, they think building a brand is social media. Building a brand is everything from the way you walk around your neighborhood to the way you greet people inside of your gym, and building a brand the way that you have done it, in my opinion, is the best foundations of all. Social media is absolutely phenomenal and brilliant for great leverage, but like when we really think about it, it's like all that matters is your reach and reputation. And
mm,
if your neighbor doesn't know who you are, how can anyone else know who you are? And it's like you
yeah,
really got to think of it like that, as like you master it and you become the go-to person in your neighborhood for something that is worth doing. Your brand will grow itself, your brand,
yeah,
your reach, your reputation. That's all it really is. And I truly believe that all brand is leadership. The higher we elevate ourselves as a leader, whether it's through self-leadership, through leading others, that's actually the cap on what our brand and our marketing is. And man, I know there's definitely been some tough times. Like, where did you almost quit, and why didn't you quit?
Well, I think we already sort of mentioned one at the
Yep,
start with the men's shed when nobody rocked up.
yep,
It was the perfect opportunity to just
they're not worth it.
chuck it all in.
Yep,
Now, obviously, to run the free men's mental health shed and to survive and have a roof on my head, I have to run the business side of the gym as well, which is where we cater to the general population
yep,
and to the fighters.
yep,
Although we got momentum because people wanted more off the back of the men's shed, it was still a grind to get the group classes going. It was like a true grind.
yep,
And I think there was a couple of moments there where like, and I think this is part of business as well, and it's part of life. You always question the things that you're doing,
yep,
but then it's how we react off the back of those questions and how we like answer back. Or if you
yep,
can in the fight terms, how punch in the face. How do we return serve? How do we fire the next punch back?
mhm,
um, which is if we bring it back to the lessons that we're talking about before, nasal breathe, relax, hook back in,
go
and
again.
yeah,
Yep,
go again.
yep,
Uh, and know that like, I mean, we can't all be Floyd Mayweather, right, and be undefeated. We're always going to take an L. Like
yep,
majority of people will take a loss in their fight career, right? And
yep,
I think it's about being able to take those hits and losses
mhm,
and keep on moving forward. Because
yep,
maybe we just didn't approach it the right way. Maybe if we
yep,
approach it from this angle, it might be a little bit different.
yep,
And now what I'm finding here is now that we have built the reputation and we've won a couple of like awards and stuff like that,
yep,
it, it I still have to do the work, but Google's doing my work for me now.
yep,
People know, and then people read what we've done and what we've achieved, and it's like, oh, okay,
yep,
that's it. And it's just being that little point of difference where, I mean, so many influencers and gyms and all different sorts of things all say, and we look after your mental health. We're strong on our mental health, but how many actually go out and do it? And like I
actually
said,
do it later foundation.
yeah,
100%, man.
and
Yep,
like this is like I said this heaps of times in this podcast now. This is personal to me. We are doing we. It is number one.
yep,
Learning to fight and get fit at the same time. That's really fucking cool to do. It's something that a lot of people won't ever do. But
yep,
um, yeah, I think it's when people realize like, oh, okay, actually, that this is not a gimmick on the mental health side. They're actually doing things about it.
yep.
I think that really helps as well. Because
Fuck.
like I said before, that is number one in this gym, and it'll always be number one in this gym.
Yep.
Because like we said, we lost Ethan, and that was devastating. And I don't want anybody else to feel that. But and unfortunately, we got a pandemic. We got a suicide man pandemic,
Literally,
and just
one of my best mates growing up, his sister hung herself like a couple of days ago, and I was like,
yeah,
"Holy shit!"
crazy. Yeah, and it's not just men, right? It's women too. But unfortunately,
People are
men
struggling, man. Yeah.
Men take most of the stats up there, and
Yeah.
there's a brilliant thing that happens down in Canberra on 19th of November every year, where they place a shoe on Parliament lawn for every man that has committed suicide. And for people that don't know or realize,
Yep.
roughly 2,500 men a year commit suicide. And then when you see that display, I've only seen it in pictures. I'm actually being lucky enough. I'm going down there this next week and presenting down there on what we do here.
Yep.
But even the picture, when you look at the picture and you look at all those shoes, like it's yeah, it's like real strong symbolic, like we have an issue.
Yeah.
Um, and then
Yeah.
to be able to give an opportunity to go down there and speak, and then to actually see this display, I think it's going to be pretty incredible.
Right. Final piece. Like, and you don't have to answer this question, but if you could, speak with your friend and he could see what you've done now, what do you think he would say to you?
I know that he would be proud. Um, all our group of friends are really proud of what I've created here.
Yep.
I've got his parents in our corner that say he'd be proud. I know he'd be proud. I know he'd love it. So what people don't know about Ethan is, although he never trained, he could dissect a fight and tell you exactly what happened and why it happened and what submission that was, or what led
Just
up to
with it.
that.
Yep.
He knew it all. He would love it, and I truly believe he would be in here every week,
Yep.
or every day training.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, no, he'd be, and I think, yeah, he'd be proud to know that he's a legacy now.
In his name, eh?
Yeah, and we're actually this year, the first year in our gym, we'll be giving out a trophy dedicated to him to one of the members. Just of everything that he stood for, and when I made the decision, it's already selected who's gonna take that one out. But one of the criteria was, would Ethan be proud to stand up next to this person
Well,
to what they've overcome? So yeah, I have no doubt that he would be super proud, and he'd be a strong member. I truly believe that.
yeah.
It would have given him the reason. You know, that it would have given him the what if. Yeah.
It's yeah, no fucking oats, bro. I mean, I'm gonna tie it all off here is like for the people listening, imagine if you built something like this, it's like imagining if instead of people hiding from their battles, they had somewhere they could pick up the gloves, they could step into a place, they could feel loved, supported, and know they had someone in their corner. Um, fuck, what a place that is, eh? And I just want to say, fucking brother, like you haven't just built a gym, man. You've built a place where people can literally reclaim their lives.
Yeah.
Um, Man, it's been an honor to be a little bit a part of that and to see what you're doing, bro, and to see not only how far it's come, but just the pure, it just feels like the fire in you is growing every single day for it.
Yeah.
Especially as you see your own potential and you see the potential in what this work can do. And, but for anyone listening is like the mountain won't climb itself. Everyone's got to go through that fight camp. Everyone's got to fucking just get
Mm.
stuck in and you got to have the balls and the courage to get after it. Your fight won't win itself, but if you're ready to step up and look it in the eyes, you'll fucking win. You'll win.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And like I think, like we mentioned before, that might not be in one of these my initiative in the fight gym. It might be in the woodwork initiative. It might be in the men's thing. But
Yep.
the thing is like you got to learn to fight for yourself, and that's and men don't like to feel like they're broken. But I think it's
Yep.
where you
Yep.
need to realize that yes, you are a little bit broken, but
Yeah.
there's people out there willing to bring you up and support you, and just get up, fight for yourself, walk into one of these places. If it
Yep.
doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Try the next one, but just always know that there's people out there that even if they don't know you, they want you to be here, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. All right, brother. Thanks for your time. And
No worries.
see you, brother. Bye.
Thank you.